we're back. Yesterday I thought we had a really good session. We shot the flyers over Cali for the first time. It didn't go, it wasn't perfect by any means, but I think we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We took some steps getting closer to ultimately the goal of her connecting the dots with the idea of flushing, shooting, retrieving, live birds, warm, I should say, well, live, I guess a little bit too, because they were flapping, and warm game, very different feel. And you saw, I think what was good about it was it wouldn't have been as beneficial if we'd have done that and she just ran out, picked it up, scooped it up, brought it back real confident. You saw her spook a little bit. You saw her come back without it once when it flapped. So I think all that stuff is important because every dog responds to this stuff a little bit differently. And for you guys to be able to see some of the things that she did that wasn't perfect, that wasn't exactly how ultimately we're going to have it be, I think that's real important. So no different than any of the other parts of this series that haven't gone smoothly. Some things have gone really well. Some things she's better at than I would have expected or even had hoped for at this point in her training. Some things she's not as far along as I hope to be. So we're just going to work towards it. Today, it's just me and Caden. Ben's not here, so doesn't really matter. We're just going to have one camera, but I'm going to do some things based on yesterday. One of the things that I saw was, she's got a little bit of hesitation. We quit early. We had another bird we were going to shoot. I didn't want to do it because things had gone pretty good to that point. I thought, let's end it on a positive. We gained some stuff here today. No reason to just continue to do things because her momentum, I think, was slowing down. And so one of the things that I think I want to, based on what I saw, is I want to build a little more confidence. We're always trying to build confidence, and with confidence comes a lot of positive things. A little more courageous effort, a little more moving without a lot of apprehension. She was pretty apprehensive at times, a little timid, I'd say. That's to be expected when you put something new in front of people or dogs. So some dogs are just so bold and so confident and so, I'll go so far as saying almost out of control. Like she's got really good control. The symptom of yesterday is the effects of something that I think is real positive. So it's not like negatives aren't always bad. Things that aren't perfect aren't always the worst. It can be the sign of something that maybe is real good, actually. So I think she's real controlled. You look at the personality of her. These two black dogs have sat here the whole time with their tails they're really excited. They're really looking forward to this. She has kind of looked at me a little bit unsure. Part of it is probably because we're about to do some group work. And so today we're doing group work because I think it's necessary for her to do group work. I want to do it for two reasons. I want to build up work on some steadiness with her, which would mean being steady while other dogs are being sent. I have a bag full of birds, thawing out cold game. So we're going to make all retrieves with real birds today and use other dogs as well. And my hope with it is to maybe tap into a little bit of competitiveness with her, maybe tap into a little bit more, another level of confidence, which allows her to pick stuff up a little better, a little more of this idea of there's other dogs here, I'm into it a little more fun, a little more excitement. We're going to set it up very similar to how we set up the drill a couple days ago when we ran into a little bit of an issue with her. Got a group of pheasants right here, the pheasant pen right there, and so that's going to be the distraction. We're going to make the retrieve with the cold game next to it. Work through a distraction, pick up your objective, pick up your goal. Because when we shoot a bird, if there are other birds flying off or other birds working around, I want them to understand that when we send them on a specific bird, go get that one. Forget about all the other distractions and focus on making sure you get that bird. So we're replicating it here. I have no concern at all that any of these dogs are going to be bothered by the live birds. My dogs have seen it enough. What I'm hoping that she sees is my dog's confidence picking these cold birds up to inspire her a little bit more. I also think it's going to be good because she's got to work respectfully in the group. So I'm going to leave them all right there to start out with. And one of the things I'm going to do is come down And we'll see, you know, I'm gonna see, eventually this is a great big rooster in comparison to what we were picking up yesterday. This is another big rooster in comparison to these hens. So I've got a smaller rooster here that's headless that we used prior, and I've got a real small hen. So you can see the difference. The weight is, this is 30% heavier, I'd say. So I'm gonna start out here by just peppering the area. A couple birds. So I got 4 birds, I got 4 dogs. And we're just gonna come down and we're gonna let each dog take turns making retrieves. And my dogs might not be perfect. I haven't worked my dogs in a long time, so this is good stuff for them too, exercise-wise, heel. The last time that I worked with Spry, you'll remember, she didn't do very well. I worked her with Cali. She struggled a lot. Now it's interesting, heel. It's interesting how well Cali heels perfectly right by me. And then all of a sudden they bring out a couple other dogs, hey, ha, 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 ha. And that focus or whatever it is, whatever reason it is, fades a bit, and she becomes a little sloppy with that heel work. Now if she does that one more time, which she did, I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to correct, because this is not a heel work drill. I'm going to set myself up to succeed. Put the slip lead on, and she'll let her correct herself. And so you see that, you know, I'm not as picky with my dogs as far as right or left side once they've been trained. In fact, I want them to be able to heel both sides, because it does get a little crowded on the left-hand side with the dogs that we have in training. So I'm real consistent with them, keeping them in heel position on the left. You see there, I lean in and I let the correction happen without me. The second she got physically past my leg, she felt it. Now you'll remember a couple days ago when we did this drill, we came out to this spot right here. You can see the old tracks, center. It was too far. That we shrunk it up, we redid it. So I don't see us having that issue this time. Now if we did, I'd just go back and shrink it up for her. But I'm going to send the other dogs first. Not going to send Cali first. There, good. Just about got her out of position, good. But you saw there when I checked with my leg, there's no correction there. She's in good position. Yeah. We'll come down to the end here. Now the one that's going to be the most gung-ho to go is probably Spry, so I don't think I'll send her first. This idea of dogs anticipating. Now, I think what's interesting is these 3 are, it's pretty sure, looking at their faces and the way they are right now, they know what's about to come. If you look at her, I think she's just kind of out for a walk right now. Like, she hasn't done this so often that she's like, I know exactly what's going on next. Sit, sit, sit. There's Spry sliding in for her spot. Now, I do want Cali to get something good out of this, out of every aspect of this, not just the retrieving part. Sit, sit, sit. So I am going to take the lead off, but I'm going to leave that adjustable leader collar on. If Kaden can get around and see. So here's the point of that collar. There's a little bit of weight there. So right now she feels that little bit of weight of that collar and feels like he's still got a hold of me. He's still got this. You noticed how good her heel work got as soon as I slipped the lead on. So right now she's going, but he's way over there, but I still feel it right here. So when they feel it, they have this extra level of control. Now, Taylor's the least interested right now. I'll send her first. These 2 are pretty keyed up, ready to go. Taylor. Sit. Watch. Watch. Taylor, go back. Taylor. Taylor, go back. Go back. And I want you to be sure to get her. Sit. Sit. So that just kind of screwed her up a little bit, shifted her over. So let's put her right back. Sit. Looks like she picked up one of the smaller birds. I mean, we'll see what's left down there. If it is one of those bigger birds, that'll be a challenge for Cali. Good girl, come on. Good girl, come on. Come on, come on. You can see even her, she's got a bad pick on it, so she sits down, she readjusts, gets a good positioning on it. I'm keeping an eye out on the corner of me to make sure she doesn't creep in. Did. Good. 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 Now we'll stretch. We'll get a little something out of Taylor. We'll get something out of Taylor here from a steadiness standpoint. Sit. 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 Spry. Go back. Go back. She touched the wind of something there. Looks like she picked up the hen. I don't know, she got a rooster. So she had one of the bigger roosters. So there's still a small hen out there, and then there's a big rooster. Good, here. Taylor, sit down. Spry here. Good, here. Right here. Good. Did. Good. Good. Spry, come here. Sit. Sit. All this is good work for Cali, just patiently waiting her turn. Cali, sit. I like that little bit of, I mean, she's fired up. Now, I don't know that I've ever sent her past one of these dogs before, so I don't know that I will. Heel. I'm not gonna. I'll go past them. But I love her. She's really enthusiastic right now. She's really loaded up. Good. Go back to that drill. Sit down, Taylor. Go back to that drill of taking these collars on and off without her pulling out. Cali, go back. Fire's out there really nice. Past the pen of birds. Gonna have to hunt a little. Good girl, look at the tail. Good girl. Come on. Come on, good girl. Come on. She's, I think, on that big bird. Come on. Come on. She's got the little one. That's a good girl. Good dog, which I don't mind her picking that little one, to be honest, because she's got a really nice hold on it. Good girl. Went out real good. Came back real enthusiastic. Hold. Got a nice hold on it. Good. Did. That's a good dog. Sit down. Cali, heel. Cali. Now we're going to see where Cali's steadiness is at. Sit. Sit. I'm going to put her a little bit closer. Sit down. Ellie. Good. Sit. Sit. Good. Real tempting for her. Nice. She kind of she was a little caught off guard, not sure what to think. Settled in real nice. Good girl. That's a good dog. Now she's gonna have to be steady as she comes by her again. Good. Good dogs. Taylor, sit down. Dead. 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 Good. Sit. Good girl. Boy, this is a real big bird. Good. Good. We're just gonna flip this around and run it back. Sit. Sit. So today we're working on just building some obedience stuff into this as well, with the steadiness and the control. So today this time I'm just going to switch it around a little bit. Leave those dogs. I like this idea of putting her on a remote sit and having her be confident. Look at their face right now. She's really uncomfortable. She's really not sure what to think. So I'm going to start out with the close dog that's close to me. Spry. Spry. Good. Sit. Taylor. Good. Good girls. Taylor. Sit. Cali. Cali. Good. Very good. That's a good dog. Sit. Ellie. Good. Heel. Now the one thing there too is that I get value out of that is we just threw 4 birds. They are well aware of it. There's 4 birds right behind them. And here I am trying to pull, and here I am calling them away from that magnet. For a lot of dogs, they don't want to leave that. They go, no, I'm right here. Why don't I grab it and bring it back to you? No, we're saying come to me. Heel. Getting a little bit, jinxed it. Was getting a little bit better heel work off lead here with her. I'm not going to allow it to get bad, but I'm not going to turn this into a heel work session either. So if it doesn't get good, we just slip a lead on. Sometimes it just takes taking the lead out. Heel. Sit, sit, sit. Good. Again, we'll build off the idea of have her be sit, have her be steady, sit, spry. Good. Sit. 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 Spry. Good. Good girls. So there's test 1 going out. Good. And again, her focus on me, not focus on another dog, not focused on the idea there's birds out there. All the while, she has to build memory. She's got to remember the idea of what was put out there in the first place. Here comes temptation number 2. We're gonna have a dog run right past the bird in its mouth. Good. Good. And I'm telling those girls good. As much as I am her. Good. Dead. Heel. Sit. Sit. Taylor. Taylor. There's a temptation for Cali. Dog going past. Go back. So you see 2 dogs just respond. Sit. Ellie, sit down. Taylor. Taylor, go back. Confusing to him right now. Taylor. Right here. You sit. I don't mind that at all because both those dogs are just waiting their turn and it looks the same to them. See how I'm moving my hands here? I don't want a dog jumping on. Taylor. Taylor, go back. Go back. Go back. Sit, Cali. Sit. Good. Taylor, go back. Taylor, go back. Sit. Sit. Go back. Go back. Go back, Taylor. Go back. Boy, that's a frustrating little lugger right there. Good. Good. Again, just not certain. She's not doing any of that to make me mad. I'm just not real clear. Not clear enough for her. I wasn't clear enough for Ellie either. So we got to make it. I can't get on her too hard for that. That's her effort. She's trying. But I'm also watching her drive build up a little bit, which is really what we're after in this drill. We're trying to get her a little more excited about it, get her wanting to go a little bit harder. Good girl. Now there's 2 big roosters out there. She's gonna have to pick a big one. This will be a good challenge for Cali. Good. And Taylor is showing some stickiness, which is something that I would look at and say, I need to work on it with her. And I look at the size of her, I know I need to work on her. She's not in the best of condition right now. Sit down. She's got a little winter weight. Cali. Good. So let's just call her to me. Good. Take this off nice and slow. Good. And again, no fault of Ellie's out there. Ellie's excited. Ellie wants to go. Look at how, I mean, she's a statue. She's been frozen in that position since I stopped her on the whistle. And she's just praying I send her back. We're not gonna. Watch. Cali, go back. Now Callie's gonna have to really muscle up here and pick up look at the snow flying from her. I mean, she's really digging in today, which is exactly what I was looking for. A little more oomph, a little more go, a little more, not as flat as she was yesterday. Come on, good girl, come on. You really gotta dig that big bird out of that snow. Come on, girl. Come on, Cali. Good girl, come on. Come on. Come on. There's a good dog. There's a good girl. Took a lot for her to muster it up, but look at the enthusiasm with her today. A lot more confident, a lot bolder. That bird's bouncing around, head loose, but look at the hold. Great hold. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, you got it. Let's go. Let's go. Good girl. Now that's a good pick right there. Very good. And a tail wagging. That's a good girl. Good girl. Dead. That's a good dog. Good dog. Good girl. That's a good dog. I mean, you see how my voice and my excitement feeds into even my oldest dog. Dad's getting excited. Dad's getting excited to the point where I don't want her coming in here. But so it's 2 things. Taylor, come here. It's a lack of her doing what she's supposed to do, but it's the impacts. The important thing is seeing the impacts of how I can get them excited, how I can get the dog fired up with my tone and my body language and my energy, and I can build that up to the point where we got this little dog to pick up this great big rooster, probably one of her nicer retrieves of all the birds we've done in the last week. It was the biggest, most challenging one. She did it with the most enthusiasm. Part of it had to do with her confidence going a little higher. Part of it had to do with the idea that I was over here really pouring the gas on that fire to the point where it made Taylor bubble over with excitement. So let's finish it out and then we'll be done. Now I'm going to take Cali, heel. Let's try to get one more value out of Cali here. Cali, here. Cali, come on. I'm not going to do it to confuse her and give Ellie any type of hand signal that Cali can see, because I don't want, my one thing with this is I don't want Cali to start second guessing taking a handle because she saw me handle a different dog and then tell her no, and like that's confusing. So I gotta be careful. Don't do that anymore. Ellie, good. I have to be really careful with these two dogs' names. Cali likes to come on Ellie because they kind of sound similar. Now, this will be a good test for Cali. Ellie's going to run past her. A good steadiness test for her. Ellie, go back. I'm real quiet when I send. I don't say it very loud because I don't want Cali to hear it. Good girl. Very good. Good. You can see she's still a little uncertain, but her ears, her positioning, a lot better than it was before when she's going, I'm not sure. There's a dog behind me. He's in front of me. Good. Good girl. Here comes the second test. Run past with a bird in my mouth. Good dog. Very good. I don't know that Cali was dead. I don't know that Cali was, I don't think we could have done this when she first got here because we didn't, I don't know that she had seen as many, we've poured on a lot of, we've tightened up, I should say, some of the screws when it comes to the steadiness. You remember, I think one of the first couple videos, I couldn't throw a dummy over her head from this distance. I couldn't. Sit. Sit. Good. Ah. Good. I don't know that she realized that I'm going to ask her to be steady to that degree when she first came. And so we've been working on it quite often. And now we're getting to the point where she doesn't see it and just, and it wasn't that she was breaking on the throw every time. It was like you saw there, she broke on the hit when the dummy hit the ground, when the ball hit the ground. She turned around, that became too much. It wasn't the idea of throwing it up over the top that was too much, it was the idea of it hitting the ground. And I think she was going, I know the next thing, I go get it. And we have decided, no, we're going to tighten up a little bit on that control part, just from a steadiness, because I don't want her assuming that they're all hers. For reasons like this, I'm going to send three other dogs for a retrieve, and you're going to get one out of the 4. I'm going to throw something and go pick it up myself. Good, heel. That's it. Today was a good session, building off of yesterday, I think, because I saw such more confidence in the pick. I saw a little more excitement in the training. Where I have seen with her, it's not that she doesn't like training, it's just I've seen her get to the point where she's real methodical, a little slow, not nearly as excited about it. And I think when we teach them stuff, I want them to be excited about it. I don't want it to be going through the motions. I want it to be, I'm real eager to learn. I'm real eager to get more. And I think sometimes it takes us figuring out how to push the buttons of excitement. With her, a lot of times, Spry is the opposite. Spry is a real excited dog. She loves to train. So with her, the value out of this session was not to build her excitement up to make a retrieve or two. It was the idea of wait your turn, be patient, don't make a sound, be quiet. I mean, you haven't heard a peep out of any of these dogs, and that's something that I think is real important. We do not want dogs squeaking. We don't want them making a sound. I don't want them shuffling their feet. I don't want them being a pain. I want to take them in the woods. I want to take them in the blind. I want to take them in the field. I want to take them in the house and have them do this, not even know they're there. But when I'm ready to call for action, when I say we got to go do something, they're right there ready to turn that switch on and let's go. And so I don't want it. Taylor gets a little bit slow and methodical, and you can see some of that today in her. It's her personality. It's also that we haven't done a whole lot through the winter with her, and we need to do a little bit more. We need to sharpen her up a little bit. So that's a good, real nice session to build off of, and we can take this and figure out what we're going to add to it tomorrow.